What up, kids? We're back. We're back with this time a podcast. So if you'd like to not look at us and just listen instead, we'll put the links down below.
Absolutely.
This week we're starting with an interview with our good friend Harry. He's going to tell us some rally goodness.
Something like that, yeah.
That's it. So the whole point of the podcast really is to entertain with our soothing voices.
Oh.
And exactly, I just sell these things, don't I? I should have gone into sales instead of engineering.
Yeah, you might be able to find
that as well.
Sponsorship to go racing.
That's below the belt, lad. That's low already. That. Oof. I get enough from him during the day, and then come on here at night, and oh my days.
Guess it again.
But yeah, so we're back. We're doing the sort of the podcasting thing. Obviously, we started the interviewing Mr. Me and Mr. Andrew. Had some really good interviews last year, but we thought let's get this a bit more organised. So Andrew's going to attempt to sort of
try keep it on track.
Keep me on track a little bit without going too tangenty. And the idea with these is hopefully, weekly. It may take a little bit getting into it initially, but we'll either having a guest on, or we'll be sort of talking about a topic, or if we've had an event, say for instance when Harry's had some of his seasons, we can be talking about seasons, right? Events.
In the season.
In the seasons, we'll have some recaps of some of the British stuff that we've got going on here, so it should be really good. And obviously, hit a like, hit subscribe, all that stuff on the YouTube. Andrew will drop down the links because we're going to try and get this on the podcast things.
Yes, podcast things.
I hadn't actually looked into that, but it'll be podcast things. But yeah, that's it. So, Road Hunters podcast, here we go.
Episode 1.
Number 1, that is it. And we thought what would be better than, for those of you that have obviously seen Rallycross stuff I've done and some of the stuff from last year, we do have a third guy now, Mr. Harry.
Wow.
So we just wanted to do an introduction to you, introduction to, I suppose, a bit about you, and then kind of going through the interview sort of with you, looking at junior rallying, junior club rallying.
Yeah.
And some cool things that are happening this year. So
okay.
It's Mr. Harry. He's a member of the Road Hunters. He's a bit of a legend. Yep. He likes to weld stuff, but not BMW sills.
Nope. Not BMW.
I think you can let Harry introduce himself. Don't feel like you're doing a very good job.
No, I was just getting to the point that he's a welder and hasn't welded up my BMW yet.
Well, yep, so the name's Harry. I weld, not BMW sills. Done a little bit of rallying, which we will cover across the podcast and other videos on the channel. Other than that, there's really nothing else to say. We're just going to cover it all in the podcast, I guess.
That was a rubbish introduction, but we'll go for it. We'll go for it, Mr. Harry.
So, do you know what we should do? Have you still got them quick fire questions?
Oh, do you want to do quick fire questions at the start?
Let's do it.
Oh, okay.
Good introduction.
Yeah, so we sort of used to finish with these, but Andrew's right. Let's do it now. So, the first question will go with your first rally car, because obviously you've been rallying before you were driving. So, first car.
Nissan Micra K11 T147 TVK. It was black with, it finished off black, but it was in the beginning black with like orange checkers and orange bumpers and stuff like that.
Used to hate Micras, and then I kept seeing people in K11s and doing cool little JDM stuff with them, and then they started rallying, and I realised that people rally them. Very cool.
There's a market for them. There's a market. They're a huge classic.
There's a market for everything.
I wouldn't go that far, but
even hot tubs.
Well, yeah, if you like K11s. Don't makers are probably never going to see any other than at a rally.
Whoa. We will see plenty of K11s.
We will see. We will, you're
There
right. Favourite car?
Oh, Mark II Escort.
Where
I
would
don't
you
know.
take it?
I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll just go with that. We'll just go with that. BDA screaming through. However, Dovenant Forest on the RAC, Ocean Price, something like that. There we go. That answered your next question.
it did answer my next question.
The next
Three
question
current
was.
favourite songs.
Oh, the next question
what
was.
was that?
Sorry, the next question was where would you take it? But
Yeah.
obviously, you guessed that. So, 3 favourite songs, and this is where I find out I'm really old.
No,
It
it's
can be
not.
current or all time or.
You know my favourite song.
Come on, throw in some like K-pop. You know you want.
Dire Straits, when it's been off him. Dire Straits, Sultans of Swing. And I don't know, I quite like the Verve Lucky Man, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a tune, and I do like Sultans of Swing actually.
Have you heard Money for Nothing?
Well, I don't know any of them songs, so
Probably.
You're just too old.
yeah, I'm too old.
He's that middle ground between the old person and the young person who's old. So,
Yeah.
and then he's just
They don't
young,
have proper music.
young,
in time.
cool, and hip.
No.
Favourite film?
Oh, it's got to be Twin Town. I watched it the other day, it was brilliant. It's like these two twins from South Wales, and they're proper like kids, you know, like roadmen sort of people. And they're just Welsh. It's quite funny. If you like taking the mick out of Welsh people, watch it. I love it.
Do you realise that we like rallying? There's a lot of Welsh people who rally.
Yeah, and there'll probably be a lot of
Funnily
Welsh people watching this broadcast.
My family live in Wales actually. Check them out.
They'll all know Twin Town as well.
You know what? I'm going to watch it just for the Welsh people. And I'll give you my
It's
verdict
brilliant,
on it.
honestly.
Yeah.
It is brilliant.
If you are in Wales, go check out Llandudno Vineyard. No, Conway
Actually-
Vineyard. Let's give you the right one.
There we go. Is that your dad's?
Yes. My dad's and my stepmom. Yeah, that's right. I always got to say mother-in-law, and that'd be really wrong, wouldn't it? Considering she's married to my dad. Go-to takeaway.
Oh, it's got to be Fido's in Gartha.
Oh, Fido's, mate.
Yeah, you know it.
I haven't been, but I know where it is.
They do a banging pizza.
That'll do for us. Favourite place you've been?
Motorsport, non-motorsport.
Anything.
Favourite place for motorsport has got to be probably Brands Hatch, BTCC. Non-motorsport, Florida.
Interesting
Okay.
choice.
Yeah, nice.
I don't know. Rallying probably beats BTCC though. I've just been to that many places I can't even think
Yeah, I
of one
suppose
that's
so,
like
like
top.
BTCC, you've got that.
Dovenant Forest, there we go.
Oh yeah, that's yeah. I'll
That was
go there.
really good.
So also the BTC, you've got the atmosphere in an enclosed area, whereas with something like rallying, obviously you're stretched out all. Yeah.
The good thing about the BTCC is that like there's the support categories are really good as well as the BTCC.
Yeah.
And then straight after the racing, if you on the campsite where they're just a big party, it's brilliant. Honestly, it's an atmosphere to live.
That's the thing. If you want to just go and watch racing all day, that you can more than easily
Switch on your telly.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I'll do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
But no.
Who needs to go out? It's good for the environment to stay at home. Place you want to go?
Rally Barbados.
Yes. Good shout.
Yeah.
We're doing it. You coming, Andrew?
Yeah.
We are actually going to do rally.
Yeah. Fine.
One, it's a bargain for what you're doing. Two,
It is
Barbados. And one of my best mates, her family's Asian, but she's never been, so she wants to go. So I'm taking her. I'm going to go rallying. Then we have a holiday afterwards. Awesome.
Good shout.
Thank you.
Nice.
It sounds good to me. Another hobby other than racing, or rallying, or racing. We'll just combine motorsport into one. I was
let's say
expecting
rugby.
something about these 6 ones.
I'm gonna say rugby because
Oh, okay.
that's what I used to play before I sort of was able to compete.
Nice. Rugby's one
Yeah, I
of
was-
the
I
few
was-
normal sports I like.
Yeah,
I say
because-
normal.
because there's nothing more normal about 26 men running after.
It's like a great afternoon, doesn't it?
That's what you're into, yeah?
Depends what
Well,
you're into.
Yeah. Keep PG. When I did American football, or when I did a small amount of American football, I liked the fact that for 30 seconds I basically had a fight with someone, and then we just reset.
Yeah.
Great. That was awesome. And then one fact that we wouldn't guess about you. This
Ooh.
series, if you're like interesting or quite boring, but like to
this
talk
this
about.
is one that always people always struggle with.
It's like, do you want to embarrass yourself?
Can I think of that and like tell you at the end of
Yes,
the podcast?
you can, but you do
There
fail
we go.
the fire round, unfortunately.
Oh,
You have now failed.
Less brownie points for me then. Yeah.
Exactly. But yes, so now that we've freed that up and we've got that going into, I suppose, the bulk of it.
Actually, I've got one, and it saves embarrassing myself. I've got a sister. There we go. You wouldn't know that.
Fair enough, yeah.
I didn't know you had a sister, no, and I've talked to her
There we
every
go.
day for that long.
Now you do. Oh.
Very nice, lovely. Yeah, so first
So?
of all, is quite a thing really with your current season coming up.
Yeah.
So I suppose first of all, what category and sort of card are you competing in this year?
So we have got
Well-
a 1300 challenge spec 4KA. We will be doing the East Midlands Association Motor Club sponsored by Clubman Motorsport Championship. That's a bit of a tongue twister.
Really?
Yeah,
Well done. Yeah, because
Lost you in the
I
middle of
still
that, but
have to go onto Facebook
Yeah.
and load up the group to remember what they're called.
NP or whatever it is, I don't know. Just
Yes.
And the third big one is I will make history this year with the youngest crew to ever contest a rally. There is me, the driver, who is 17 years old, and my co-driver, Russell Thompson, is 14 years old.
That's I think that's pretty mind blowing.
That's a combined age of what? 31?
I don't know, it's
Yeah.
been a long day.
I thought you were going average
Yeah.
age then, and I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense. But
That's actually really depressing. Your combined age is less than my age.
It's less than probably 90% of the people doing the rally.
Man, I feel old at times. Right. Awesome. Yeah, but I think that's one is epic on the co-driver level, that young. I think it shows you coming through Y Junior rallying as well is so cool.
Yeah.
And you can then go out, you've obviously got as well before that your first closed road stage rally with
Yeah.
riding.
So I am doing well. If I pass my driving test, I will be doing the East Riding stages in East Yorkshire, which will be my first closed road event. It's up near Beverley, and there is a big name entry list on there. You've got people like Steve Bannister, other names.
other names included.
Who are really
Insert names here. It's alright, I'll Google it and just put a text of some names.
I've not even looked at the entry list, but I know Steve Bannister's on there, and I know people haven't got to run like Kevin Proctor.
Yeah, because it was done purely on entries went in and then they would randomly generate. You've got something 70 reserves or something like that.
Something like that.
Something mental, yeah.
We were entry number 75, and we got a run, which
is
is
awesome.
good. It's good, yeah.
I think it was a real good start to the year.
Yeah,
really,
exactly.
really good. And then obviously going into the full season, I can't wait for it, man. And obviously
definitely.
we will be there.
Yeah, let's have it.
Some good sort of media and content for it, showing everybody the journey along the way. Should be
A
good.
little bit of a series, behind the scenes.
Hopefully, it should be very,
So-
very good.
Obviously, we know what you're racing now, but what about last year?
Yes.
Oh, previous?
last year was a little bit of touch and go. So we started off with the Vauxhall Nova, just didn't even get to drive it, and we found out the front inner arches, the chassis legs, had rusted away. So the Nova had gone somewhere, and we had to get in we brought in the Ford KA, which I paid for off my own back, because I'm working now and earning. So we bought the Ford KA, and I did. My dad went and did an event in it. He ripped all the front off, and the engine went, and whatever else. Yep, as you do. The
It's
test day.
I'm going to do on my first event.
Typical
Exactly.
rallying, really.
No.
Blow the engine up, rip all the front end off. Yeah, can't go wrong. So yeah, we did that. I did a test day. Actually, we did the test day before the rally, and that's when the engine started going. So we sort of repaired it, took it back, and then the engine properly went. Rebuilt it. It was a standard. It was a challenge engine in the car. Then we put a standard engine into the car to do Melbourne. I think it's the one. Slowett Motor Club. No, not Slowett. Lindome's event at Melbourne. And they was really nice, actually, because when I turned up, they gave me a card with a K on it. It said, "Good luck, Harry." Because obviously, it was my first senior event, and I was the youngest there. So that was quite nice. And the stages was actually really good, to be fair. They did run a really good event. I do recommend it to anyone who's sort of wanting to do their first rally. It is part of the championship I'm doing this year. So that's good. One of the stages when we get there. But the car was just too slow with the standard engine. But luckily, because we had the Proflex, we was able to really lean on the car in the corners. It was really good. And now the car's on. Oh well. Did you start breaking up?
No.
No.
I was going to say what you're saying.
Yeah. So now the car is having a full rebuild. Say full rebuild. Like the new engine, new challenge engine, ECU, gas, all that sort of thing. Just really getting it updated, ready for the East riding stages.
Awesome.
Hopefully get a test day in between.
Yeah, really looking forward to hearing it as well.
Yeah.
Tell us, what was your, I suppose, like with everybody, your upbringing around motorsport, kind of, and your interest in that. What did you? I kind of know the questions to this, obviously, knowing some of your family. But what was your upbringing around motorsport? Was you involved as a family, or was it something you found yourself?
I was very heavily involved in motorsport since I was born. I've been a member of the Lacey Motor Club since when I could remember. I've been marshalling a lot of years, watched my dad and granddad compete a lot of years, and then it got to a point where I could compete. So that's literally the story. I could go on forever. I could write a book.
I suppose I'd say it kind of give you that influence.
Yeah.
But then obviously you had to take it upon yourself to decide you wanted to go and do it.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it wasn't one of them things I was sort of forced into. You know, I've always like been around it, but from an early age, you know, like listening to like Steve Perez out in a Stratos, it's really addictive even then. Yeah.
So it just came more sort of naturally. You gravitated to it then, really.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's one of the. It's one of the only things I've sort of like stuck with. You know, like I tried to do guitar when I was younger, tried to do the rugby, but I've never really sort of wanted to stick with it. Motorsport's one of them where I get up every day and I think about it. So it's one of them things that I've stuck with, and I'm wanting to, you know, take it on to further levels.
Yeah, that's it. You can tell when you talk to, you're so passionate about it that.
I don't sound it all the time.
Well, I think that's half of it, though, isn't it? That you have those stresses, you have those times, and it's tough. And it's no matter what it is in any form of competition, you are going to have those times.
Yeah.
But then it just gravitates to this pinnacle moment.
It's a little bit like a relationship. There's ups and downs. It's not all flowers and roses and whatever. You know, there are times you do get really frustrated with it, and there's times where you think, "Can I be arsed?" But the answer is always yes.
Yeah, definitely. So take us through your sort of initial starting out steps then, when you went from, you're going to do this, obviously you picked the car. Was there a lot of things you had to kind of go through? Because was you a junior when you started?
Yeah, so my first car, we had a budget of around $3,000, and that's how much we spent on my first car. We just put a post out on Facebook saying, junior looking for a Nissan Micra to start rallying. We had like five people come back saying, oh yeah, we've got a car. I saw one I liked the look of, we went to look at it, thought, yep, that looks nice, we'll take it. So we took it. My first event was the Jack Neal Memorial Stages at Blyton Park in 2019. I was navigating with my granddad. A few weeks after that, I did my bars test. Luckily, just passed that. I probably shouldn't have done because I didn't have my glasses at the time, so I couldn't read the number plate. But they said, yeah, just make sure you get your glasses sorted and then you can go out rallying. So I was like, yeah, nice one.
Yeah.
Probably don't broadcast that too loudly that happened, but
it's fine.
Awesome. I was going to actually say that. Was it still a case of, as a junior, doing your bars and then applying for your license? It's still the same process then?
For a junior, it's actually a little bit harder because you've got to do 2 assessments at your bars rather than 1.
Okay.
So I got through the assessments okay. The practical was actually fairly questionable, but I beat the time. It was fairly clean, so I managed to get my bars.
What were the assessments looking
fairly.
at?
Well,
Yeah.
it wasn't up to scratch, I'd say now.
It probably let you off a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, I would say it was just very, very slow. Which is what you've got to do to get through.
Well, that's it. Or can you get around it without causing danger to yourself or to others? Is I suppose what it initially comes down to. Then you get faster when you're out there and yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
In terms of doing the bars, then, so what was the assessments? Were they like a theory type assessment? And obviously you had the 2 different types. Was it a lot?
Yeah. So how it worked for me was we turned up. The guys there was actually very welcoming. They brought us in. You want a coffee, this, that, the other. They sat us down. They said, "Right, you've got so long. I can't even remember it. You've got so long to do these 2 assessments." So I did the first one, the second one, and then we went over the answers, checked everything was all, okay. Luckily, it was. Then you went out and did your practical sort of test. Come back, read the registration plate, which I couldn't because I didn't have the glasses at the time. Then they shake your hand and say you've either passed, or they don't shake your hand and say you've failed.
So is it similar to how is it the arts test or whatever that is?
Yeah, very similar. If you actually watch Top Gear,
that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, where they got the genetic. It's very similar to that, although it looks very more like sophisticated.
Yeah.
In the racing, I don't know whether that was set up for TV.
Yeah.
Or whether that was
quite
just...
possibly. Yeah.
Probably wanted it to look good, didn't they? Yeah. I know when many years ago, before you were probably born.
In your Formula 3 days.
Yeah, and Formula Ford and what have you. They had an ARDS centre there. Funnily enough, they were clever and just called their centre ARDS, Raintree Racing Driving School. So there were some guys doing that while we were out in the Formula 4s and the other bits and pieces that they had. And my dad was sponsoring them back then, so he used to have a bit of a chat with them, and they would literally say, get round the track, don't go ridiculously so, but get round it knowing that you can hit an apex and you're not going to end up spinning yourself out and something, and we're going to probably pass you.
Yeah, I mean, you can do ARDS test at most track days, to be fair, nowadays.
Also, if you go for your bars or your ARDS test, there's usually a little course you can do where you probably go up the day before, learn, you have a bit of one-to-one tuition with a instructor, and then the next day you do your bars test, so it works a lot better.
Alton,
Oh, right, okay.
And what they've got on their website is about doing a couple of hours before. So you kind of go up in the morning, a couple of hours, you're either picking whether you're going front wheel drive, rear wheel drive. Do a couple of hours with them to kind of get used to it, because obviously, if you're not a rally driver or you're not out testing and it's a bit loose, you know, it's something not really kind of nothing going to be used to. And then from that, go into the bars. So I thought that was quite a cool thing that they do.
Yeah.
I'm looking at probably doing anyway.
It's definitely more relaxed, because all they're going to teach you in the tuition is basically just how to pass your cars test. But
Yeah.
not only that, you'll have had your little bit of seat time in the car, so when it does come to the practical bit, you know, you're more familiar with the car. You know, you can go at a better pace without sort of spinning off or all like that.
Yeah, you know what to expect. You know that you're a bit more relaxed. The adrenaline's not going completely ridiculous anymore. And what.
Or if you're like us and you're a bit tight with them watches, just lock up, rough us out, and just go for it.
Yeah, I must admit when
remember your glasses.
Oh, well, cheers, mate. I haven't asked them the price of doing that yet, and that's the bit I'm going to be like, we're on a budget.
Well, the ARDS test's £245. I've just had a look.
Right.
But I don't know whether you have to pay for the track day as well at the same time. So it'd be like, I've just looked at Brands Hatch, it's like £150 for a full day.
I know with rallying you've got to buy a bars pack as well. I did have one. I don't know what I've done with it, but you get like this blue box. Inside it's got a USB that you plug into your laptop, and then it tells you like everything you need to know.
Everything on it was on that.
That's
yeah, because you sent me the link, didn't you? I need to get mine ordered.
Yeah. And then you get a sheet on there.
I need to get mine ordered. I ain't even got a car yet, man.
But yeah, you get a sheet on there as well that you to fill out for your license that you can send to Motorsport UK.
And I suppose now, like looking back, it's been a couple of years since you sort of done that. Is there anything you'd maybe have done differently when you were starting out?
Yeah, I wouldn't have done it. It's costed way too much money.
Yeah. All the times that I've asked people that, nobody's actually said that. They've just got to the end where it's like, yeah, it cost me a fortune.
Do you know what I would do? I'd have slowed down a lot in my first year, rather than trying to win.
Yeah.
Because my first year in rallying is jumping the bush, turning up thinking, right, I've got to be on it from the start, I want to keep up with these boys. But I shouldn't have done that, because I wasn't experienced. I didn't really have much car control then. I ended up making some silly mistakes, which costed a lot of hours and a lot of money to get back on track.
That's quite, I think, a really good point.
That is my top tip to any juniors, and I've seen a few juniors come through at the moment that are pretty much doing the same thing as me, and they're really suffering the consequences at the moment.
You could probably even put that to a senior as well.
Well, yeah, anybody who's anybody who's starting in general, really.
It's like I've said to you. I said, your first few events, you just want to finish them. Yeah, that's a win.
Yeah.
It's all the same with doing track days. You go out there, you do some sighting laps, then you take your time on while you're learning track, and then that afternoon you're feeling confident and can push quicker through corners and stuff, and just confidence, isn't it?
So it's a bit different than driving to work and back, isn't it?
If I'd have slowed down a little bit on my first few rallies, I'd have been a couple more places higher up in the championship at the end, just because I wouldn't have made the silly mistakes. I mean, luckily, fingers crossed, this will keep going, touch wood. But I finished every single rally, and it's crazy to think the positions I would have made on them rallies if I hadn't have cocked up.
Yeah. Well, that's showing consistency that you're still getting to the end of them. And obviously, half the time that is a battle to either mechanically or not making a mistake, concentration, whatever those things are. So I think that says something about your future as well. If you're already kind of maturing into that mindset.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, that's going to be really good.
I am glad to say that consistency is one of my stronger parts of driving. We went testing in 2020 with the micro, and every lap I was doing was like within a couple of tenths of each other.
Nice.
Which in a car so low powered, I think that's that's pretty good going.
No, it is to be fair.
definitely. Yeah, because
And
you really got
was
to carry
pushing on
that
as
speed.
well. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
That's very impressive. Very nice.
That's where Jonathan's going to struggle then.
You're trying to say I'm not consistent, I don't keep concentration.
Judging by Dirt Rally, it's probably a good point.
Judging by any
That's-
racing game that we've
Well,
played,
that's
to
what I
be
mean, Dirt
honest.
Rally, a little bit, feeling a bit frisky and decide, sod it, I'm going sideways. I then go,
Like, oh yes.
yeah, I then go, oh, that didn't work. Oops, now I've like
Oh,
smashed
let's
it
go
down.
faster next time.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's a
Yeah.
good job that the recording that we did last Thursday didn't actually record, because that one me being not consistent, to be fair, so...
Good point, you were spinning here, there, and everywhere, weren't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Andy only performs on the cameras on.
yeah, exactly. Come second today in our racing, so...
Yeah. Was that on the stream?
Yeah.
Yeah, have it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that'll be going up soon, actually, won't it?
Yes, it'll be up by the time this is out, so go check my channel. The link will be in the description.
Well,
XXX Big Mac 199 or whatever it is. XX.
Close.
it's closer than I'm gonna get.
Near enough.
Yeah,
Link in the description. There we go. How about that?
slide into his DMs. So I suppose going on to your rallies then, what was your most challenging event or rally that you've done, and why?
John Overend stages 2019, because stage 1 I was an idiot and pulled over for a car on aquaplaned into a fence, got a puncture. Stage 2 tried making up too much time, hit a bail. Stage 3 ended up rolling the car.
Oh, nice.
Second rally, this is what I mean by pushing too far on
Yes.
too early. Stage 4, we managed to get the car back out. Just. Oh no, I think we missed stage 4. We got stage max. We managed to sort the car to get out for the last few stages. But by then, I thought, well, sod it, the car's sort of already bent. It doesn't matter if I bend it anymore. So I was going through chicanes flat out and everything else, and luckily managed to get through. But that was definitely a character building day. The most challenging, probably one of the most fun rallies I've ever done.
That's
When I pulled, the first thing I thought was, "Oh, that was pretty good." Not, "Oh, that was scary." It was character building. It was character building. I have got a photo of it that maybe Andy can edit into the video.
Yeah, I will do. I'll pop
Yes.
it in.
Yeah,
definitely.
there we go. But
Um,
yeah, that's proper Colin McRae style day.
I like it. But what's your scariest moment you've had competing then? Have you had any scary
Scary.
moments?
I don't know, because when you're competing, like, the adrenaline's going, so you don't really like get scared. But I don't know, because even the rolling wasn't scared. I suppose the biggest arse twitcher was the massive slide you uploaded onto the Road Hunters Instagram.
You held that well, man. You held that well.
Throttle on, yep, steer where you want to go. Oh, he's going that way, yep, and that one. It was like trying to land a plane at Leeds Bradford Airport, I tell you. But yeah, that was probably the biggest ass twitching moment. That massive lock-to-lock slide.
When was that up?
That was 2020 in the micro at Blighton. We had bold slicks. It started raining. There was the track had like Formula 1000 type cars, and there was a GT40 that was worth like £1 million or something like that. There was X James Hunt McLarens. Then you just got this little micro going about sideways. But all of the like the circuit pieces on the blankets. It was sideways all day, right? And we're coming through this blanket, and we're like, yes, Tommy. It's like, yeah, nice one.
Awesome.
But yeah, that was definitely a good day, but a proper switcher. That slide.
No, that's cool. What about memorable then? Any like real standout moments so far?
I nearly lost it at Blighton actually once. As well.
Do you know the back intersection where you've got like the double apex left, and then it comes left and then right, and it goes
Yeah.
left again. We lost it on the left, then it went right, left, and then you go like in and then right. It was.
Mine
was
were on
proper.
the long first corner that goes all the way around.
Yeah,
I don't know
cold
how,
tires,
but-
back end just switches.
Yeah.
Like, I know what you mean. Yeah. Because you've got that little chicane, haven't you? I bet you lost it there.
No, it was just on that long corner. There were an MX-5 right on my ass, and I just thought, right, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
floor it, and then I felt back end going, no, let's not do that.
You should have kept it forward and saved it. Or did you save it?
I did save it. It didn't spin
Oh,
or
I
anything,
think.
but
Yeah.
Only been to
Superb
fly
car
The old
control.
lift up over steer.
it's a superb car control over here.
Oh,
What can I
wow.
say?
Only the best in the road on this
Of
motorsport.
course.
What can I say? So yeah, most memorable moment. I'm gonna say Wheaton Camp in 2019 because we had a good day. It was definitely tricky. The weather was against us all day in the micro. There was cars off all over the place. There's actually on the in car you can hear my navigator saying, slow down, cars off. And in this ditch, in this field, there was like 4 junior cars all off at the same time. One of them was Maurice Henry, who's now a Ginetta Junior, and Rob Wilson was in there, CNUs. There was just piles of people in this field. Oh, there's me coming in this black micro, just aquaplaning, like, yep, nice one, on the brakes, we're getting around here. You get around the corner and there's Rob Wilson's C1 there. It's like, okay, probably avoid that. It was that was a memorable day because we'd done a little bit of giant killing. Like towards the last sort of few stages, there was like C1, Satigo, C1, my bashed up micro, C1, Satigo. So that was a very good day, being like up there with everyone else. And we came home with a good champagne spray.
Fancy.
There was 2 micros in front of me that had finished on the podium. So how it works is if he was on the podium, the Prio Free Award, which was for the micros, got passed back. So there was me, my best mate at the time, Tom Naylor, both next to each other spraying the champagne. So that was pretty good. That was a good day.
I like the fact as well that it obviously sounded like quite a difficult day.
Yeah, it was.
And it made it that much better.
On the first stage, there was like 5 cars off with damaged axles at the first corner.
Jesus.
And then on the second stage, they was all still there. I came through broadside, and my best mate James Rudd is off on the left, and his navigator was there watching, and he came when they got recovered. He came over, shot round, and went, "Nice one, that was a good slide." Just that we was just broadside opposite on the throttle. We should have hit that curb or the car and damaged the axle. But no, we had a good day that day, and I wasn't like hanging about either. I was trying to keep on it. I really suited the wet that day. That was probably the only moment where that was probably the moment where I sort of stepped up and matured from, oh yeah, let's go for it, to a bit more, let's sort of rein it in.
Let's actually finish.
Yeah. I look back at that and I think if I'd have done that at the start, who knows? But yeah, it was really good.
I think a lot of people have that moment though, don't they, where they realise,
Yeah, definitely.
you know what, actually, if I do something a bit different, I could be doing so much better.
Yeah. And one thing you got to remember as well with motorsport, it's a steep learning curve for anyone.
Yeah.
From the start, like to me at the top, to like, let's say Ash Sutton, because F1 doesn't count. It's really good. It's a good learning curve, and it's something that you've got to keep chipping away at. You can't expect to be winning at the start, but if you work towards it, then who knows what you can do.
I think there's always things you'll learn as well, because you always.
Yeah, definitely.
The nature of what motorsport is, it's always going to be something different coming at you. And certainly, with rallying, you don't quite know what's coming around the next corner, literally, all the time.
Yeah, you're never gonna get same thing. Especially rallying, as you say, if you're gonna go to the same stage twice, likelihood is it's gonna be completely different.
Yeah, definitely.
That's it. Do you find that sort of weather conditions? Do you find that you perform quite well in like wet or conditions like that?
I'd definitely say then I was pretty good in the wet because I didn't really understand how to be on the limit of the car in the dry.
Okay.
But now I'm at a point, because I've done a lot of testing and now I know my car and stuff like that, I'm at a point where I can push on in the dry, so I know where the limit is. As for the wet, I don't know, because the last time I drove in the wet was Blighton in 2020.
You do compete in Britain, don't you?
Yeah.
You've done very well.
But I only did one rally last year.
Last year don't count. Rona and
go.
all that. Yeah.
But,
well, you'll probably find out this year at some point.
Well, I suppose the thing is you need to remember in the wet is front wheel drive, just a bit of lift off oversteer, on the throttle, big sense.
Yeah, man.
Have it.
You're almost making me like the idea of front wheel drive.
It's fun.
I just think it's great how you can go into a corner, if you want to go sideways, just lift off, and if you want to catch it, just step back on it.
What I tend to do is go into a corner sideways, pray, crash, roll over, die, out the other side.
It's so simple.
Yeah.
It's literally easier done than said.
I've been so wrong
sideways,
for the last 10 years of my life.
If you're sideways, you need to point it straight on the throttle, stay where you want to go. The front end will pull you to where you need to be.
Happy days.
Happy days.
To be fair, since going on to like Dirks, I've been trying to do like the 205 and like the R2s and what have you.
Yeah.
But like, because obviously turning into it, I'm just used to straight opposite lock. The amount of times I've crashed because of that, like, until I just literally force myself to get back into it.
If you turn the force feed back up a little bit, you'll be able to feel the car a lot more.
Oh, fair enough.
It is cheating on the sim because it feels nothing like real life. You'd never have that much force feedback. But on the sim, you don't have as much feel in real life, so you've got to do other things to sort of...
Yeah, that's what Wes was saying, wasn't it, when we talked to Wes a lot, because he did an awful lot of sim racing, he's done a lot of endurance stuff, obviously, and then obviously he's rallycrossing a mini. And he's saying these different senses coming in when you're in the actual car, but then you've got these other senses that you can use in and crossover to some degree in the sim racing. That was really quite interesting. So, what do you think's the hardest part of doing this, other than just money?
Talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and time.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you think you've got to rebuild, you've got winter rebuild, you've only got so many weeks or months to rebuild the car. If you're not quick, like with replacing parts on the car and prepping cars and stuff like that, it can be quite challenging, especially for us because there's only me, my granddad he's very limited on what he can do, and my dad who's got a broken leg at the moment. But we are fortunate to be working with Paul Rudge Rallying, who are doing a lot of work for us at the moment, and we go up there, help them out and stuff like that, so it is really good.
Yeah,
in that aspect.
I was going to say you've got us as well now, but I've got some knees that don't.
Yeah.
I'll say you know it.
Yeah.
I'm a good height man.
Just on there and just be like,
all I can say.
yeah.
You'll be like that guy off Waterboy. You'll be there while everyone's working on the car going, "You can do it."
I love that film.
That's you.
Yeah, well, I love that film. Yeah, I'm down for the role. I'm there. As long as you got some coffee, because I need that to function nowadays.
I bet you'll be the guy at the valley that goes, rather than saying, knock his head off, you'll be like, knock that wing off. That'll be you.
Yeah, man. So you're right.
Oh, Jesus.
We're getting desperate here.
It's late. It's very late. Harry's been out doing his driving What have you?
Gotta get the miles in. Gotta get the
Soon.
miles in.
Got your, what is it? Well, however many days to your exam. So it's like,
please.
we've stayed up. Like, I'm old, so you know I need my beauty sleep. Went to the gym this morning. 5
You need your beauty sleep. You go to sleep at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Get up at 5.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah, I don't function well though, do I?
no.
Like,
If you see him,
That's probably why.
you might you'd think that he's still asleep if you see him at work.
I've tried to do that, but people still bother me.
I bet you do nothing at work.
Just sits there and pretends to be busy.
No, what generally happens is I sit there, get annoyed at people, and just want to hurl abuse and remembering them in an office.
Yeah.
And Andy comes
Like-
over to you. Jonathan, will you sort my problems out, please?
Hey, I don't do that ever.
No, he just goes, meh, be right. That's the Andrew way.
Just send it,
Best
but
way
don't
to
go that building ever in your life.
Yeah, we're never going near that building, but it'll be right, honest.
Anyway.
Avoid London and brick buildings that are over 3 stories high. Is that right?
Yeah, man.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're really good engineers. Well, some of us.
You know what to avoid.
Yeah. Hey, you stick with me. I'll keep you building up because I'll catch all that crap.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any? I suppose thinking a little bit as well mentally of this. Do you struggle with any doubts? Any psych yourself up, or why am I doing this, or are you good enough, or often them kind of things? Does that ever kind of?
Yes, all the time with everything. And I think if you don't, you're not taking it seriously. I think if you get up in the morning and think, yeah, right, I'm doing it today, yeah, gonna get that, gonna do this, gonna do that. Oh yeah, I'm gonna win the next rally. I'm gonna do whatever. I don't think you sort of thinking about what you're actually doing. Whereas I'll turn up at a rally and think, right, how am I gonna perform today? I look at my competition, I do doubt myself, I think, right, he's quick. Am I as quick? Well, we're about to find out. Little things like sponsorship, you get up and you think, right, I've got to find so much money to go rallying. I've never even seen that amount of money in my life. So, you're bound to doubt things like that. You get really... Yeah. And you get really nervous, like, on events. Especially before the first stage, you get really nervous. And you can't psych yourself up. I mean, what I like to do is I like to put my music in. And I'll just listen to some music to try and sort of calm me down before the first stage. But it happens so quick. Like, you set off and you think, oh yeah, we're going to be here ages. And then all of a sudden, you're on the start line going. And it's like, all right, okay, here we go. Once you've set off on the first stage, that's it. You sound, the adrenaline's going, and all the buzzers are going. It's really good. I can't describe it. The only way to sort of experience it is to go and do it.
I can appreciate it coming from competing myself, obviously, in something completely different to motorsport.
Yeah.
The build-ups to events, and especially when like you say,
it's like with the weightlifting though. I bet you used to look at the weights and think, "Can I lift that?" You'd lift it. Whilst you're doing it, you think, "Oh yeah, this feels alright."
Yeah, he didn't have any doubts.
Have you met me?
And then you walk away and you think, yeah, you know what, I did that. And there's people watching you, and the adrenaline's going because you've actually performed in front of people.
Yeah.
But I got a little bit cocky last year, and we was doing a little bit of a track walk at Melbourne, and these marshals were walking, and we said, oh, are you looking forward to the day? You go, oh yeah, it should be a good day. So I was like, oh, we'll try and put on a show for you, being a little bit cocky. And they go, all right, what car are you? So I was like, 64. So I was like, oh god, what have I signed myself up to? Every time we went past that corner, I was lifting off, going sideways and going straight back on it. I was like, yep, perform. But even that little bit of doubt of, right, what have I signed myself up to here? Little things like that. But that could have made the day,
Yeah, I can appreciate that as well. I think you do it because I've albeit my sort of upbringing was all a bit different in some ways, that when you have passion for something, it really does make you not always doubt yourself, but you always have you know.
It was like today. I was thinking, you know what, will I be able to speak behind the camera? Will I be able to talk enough content for a long time? When you're actually doing it, you don't actually think, oh, I'm on record. You just sort of think, oh, I'm just having a conversation with a couple of lads, you know. And that's all it feels like, really. You know, I'm not even thinking about, oh, well, Phil from South, whatever, is going to judge me because I like rallying and whatever else. You know?
I must admit something with me, Andrew, about when we started doing these that, you know, well, it was quite cool that people say it was just like sitting in a chat, and that's what we wanted at the end of the day. We just want to hear stories. I mean, I just want to hear stories. I love hearing stories. And talking.
It's like we're sat in the gas going.
Yes.
He's ordered his one Corona. He's off carpet shopping for afternoon.
By the way, he's not. Just letting everybody know.
Yeah, I wanted a case.
Careful nowadays. But
sorry,
it's cheap.
It was Stella.
So
we've got 9 minutes left. So shall we start?
Right, wrap up then. So, obviously you've got a big year coming up. We're really looking forward to that. I hope you. Is there anything on the, I suppose, club level, British level, that rallying you think should be done differently, or you wish was done differently?
It should be a lot cheaper.
Obviously.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It should be a lot cheaper. I think Motorsport UK could definitely make it a lot more cheaper. Not necessarily cheaper, but make it a lot more easy, you know.
Accessible.
Like
stuff like that.
Like seats and belts and stuff like that, you know, race suits and helmets. You know, if you made the life on them a lot longer, I think more people. I know loads of people that have wanted to. They've just stopped rallying because I can't keep up with it, or you know, every few years having to pay out for it all.
It's not even like just a seat belt. It's your seat belt. It's your fire extinguisher. It's your seats. It's your steering wheel. It's a lot of stuff.
And if you buy it all at the same time when you can afford it, and then it all runs out at the same time, where's the fun in that?
Am I right in thinking that, unlike circuit stuff as well, the seats and the harnesses have a shorter shelf life in rallying? I seem to think I've been told that by someone.
I think in circuit racing, you can have an out-of-date seat, or that might be belts. I'm not too sure.
Or for a certain period of time.
Yeah, it's one or the other. I'm not too sure.
Yeah,
yeah.
Which I've never really kind of got as well, because if you take rallying, it is inherently you're struggling for seat time. You can't pop to the local track day every other weekend. You know, but that is what it is. Hopefully,
also, another thing I would change is 14-inch tyres come back into fashion. There is none out there, and that's all I need this year. 14-inch tyres.
Oh, if any 14-inch tyres want to get on there,
yeah.
Feel free.
Please, we'll have them all.
That's it. I think as well, and obviously at the WRC level, the changes to the FIA presidency. The interesting things you know, the stuff he said, the interviews that have been out there, Colin at Dirtfish, his interview with him, it's been really interesting. You've got to hope that what he's saying at a domestic level, he's wanting changes. He's wanting obviously more manufacturers in the WRC, because 2.5 manufacturers, what the hell. But also at a domestic level, there needs to be more support, and there needs to be, as he said, they've just left it alone for far too long, and they haven't given it the support it's needed. So, you know, you've got to hope that filters down.
Yeah, well, what I think would be a good sort of way to do it is the R5, make that, you know, the Rally 1 category, because there's 5 or 6 manufacturers in R5, and all of them are actual manufacturers, you know, not private teams. The cars are a lot cheaper, they're a lot more cost effective to run, and they're also very competitive with the the last generation WRC cars, so like 2016 sort of.
You got a lot of mix, don't you, in a lot of the events nowadays with them?
Yeah. So, like look at the NSM rounds, how many WRCs are there compared to R5s? And how many R5s are winning the rallies compared to the WRCs?
Very true.
So they are competitive, they're a lot more cheaper now that they're a lot more competitive now that they've been developed. You don't need like you had like 3 dips or something like that in the old WRC cars. It was very weird.
Over the top.
I don't know how they did it, but yeah, OTT. Now the R5s are quicker.
Yeah,
the R5.
I'd love to drive an R5. I'm just putting that out there for the future.
Yeah,
that law of attraction and stuff. I've put it out there. That in a Impreza in the BTIDA forests.
Have you tried it?
Have I tried it? Of course I haven't tried it. I don't have any money.
No. The law of attraction.
Oh, yes, just then.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, no, I haven't.
I reckon you should give the viewers a quick description of what it is. Or should I?
Go for it.
Basically, right, as you falling asleep, the bit where you're sort of like half asleep and awake, you need to think to yourself, I'm going to be a rally driver. And if you do that forever, you will wake up and think you're going to be a rally driver.
It's like meditation.
You will however you say it, think you're a rally driver.
What happens if you're doing your everyday stuff, like you're doing some stress analysis or something, while thinking I should be out rally driving now or on a rallycross track?
Don't think that works the same way.
No,
I don't think that works the same thing. No.
I've tried that one. Didn't work.
I think you're just very desperate.
Yes. I really am. Anyway, enough of my life achievements. So yeah, I suppose let's wrap it up there.
Yeah.
Obviously this year you've got some new guys on board. Don't give everybody a shout out.
Yeah. Why not? Russ Thompson, Paul Wild, David Thompson, all of Russell's family, to be fair, Debbie, Harry, DeLacy Motor Club, Paul Rudd, Johnny Ames, Pete Gunson, James Rudd, Mark Sherman, just anyone who's helped this year, you lads, anyone who's helped this year, previous years, just thank you, and we look forward to the future.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm excited to have you as well with the Road Hunters, obviously just as one of the guys doing the podcast, doing the interviews. As an affiliate, yes, as one of us, and
as an influencer.
One of us, there we go.
Yeah, that as well. So, yeah. I've got left about 2 minutes.
Yes, 2 minutes.
So, it's pretty good. Andrew's kept us on track. He's let me go with a bit of flow, and he's told me here and there, speed up, so it's alright. So anybody who's listening, I hope you enjoyed the chat. I think it was really good, actually. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
thanks for coming on.
Yes, of course. Thank you to Harry. If you've got any more questions for him, drop them down in comments. We'll probably answer them next time if there is any more.
Yeah, definitely. And also, if there's any topics people would like to talk about, if you want to come on and talk about something, feel free, hit us up. Obviously, we've got all the socials we've got on here. Or if
even if you don't want to come on, just throw topics at us.
Yeah, because we can do a bit of research. We can go and ask some questions, ask people.
I reckon we should hit up our new friend Paul O'Neill.
Yeah, man, the legend commenting on the greatest motorsport
Here we go.
YouTube that there is. Because he's a legend.
I'm sure he'll be listening to this.
On that note,
thanks, Paul.
Yeah. On that note,
wasn't a member then.
You want it? It's better now. Ish.
Yeah.
Right. Thanks for listening or watching, whichever you did. We'll be back again next week, all being well. See you later.
Everybody stay safe.
Bye.
Au revoir.